Guys, in case you've already forgotten, Pacifica Northwest is the worst. And that's not just jealousy talking. I'd say that to her face.
I need your help.
You're the worst. See?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pining for the Falls, the podcast where it's a spooky mystery. Just real horror and hauntings going on around here. Just spooky. I'm Fire Princess Lily, and I am joined, as always, by my good friend, Dr. Sea Monster. Hey, Doc, how you doing?
I'm good. Had a decent day, just kind of doing my own thing, and got some progress on a project, and went to work. Work was fine. Just gonna chill.
All right. What have you been up to since we last recorded?
Let's see. Not a lot. Let's see. Since we last recorded this,
Yeah.
been watching WandaVision.
Mm-hmm.
Been watching The Witcher. I need to finish The Witcher before. I've got like 2 episodes left for it. A lot of work on personal projects, and that's about it. My life is not interesting.
That's it. Nothing else.
No.
All right then. All right then.
How about you?
Just been up to for a lot of stuff. Working mostly. That's what I do. Very, very much working. Dunking on neolibs as much as I can.
Always fun.
Watching slime anime, getting excited for DuckTales, more DuckTales. It's just coming to an end tragically.
Yes.
So that's my life. Just mostly work. But that's just how it goes. Let's see what's going on. Also reading the slime manga, not just watching the anime, and whoa, things are crazy. Stuff has happened. I can't tell you what stuff has happened because that's just big spoilers for you and other people who don't read the manga or the light novel. And so, but just trust me when I say that season 2 is about to turn the fuck up. Like, all the way. Just, crank that dial to 11 because it's happening. It is just happening. So good. But yeah. I think that's my currently that anime is in within at least my top 10 animes that I like. So
Nice. It's a good show.
It's a good show.
Is the second season paced any better?
Kind of hard to tell. We haven't had a lot of second season episodes just all that yet. So let's see.
Yeah, but is it running through one fucking plot arc every 2 episodes?
No, it wasn't doing that in the first season either.
Okay, fair.
I mean, it was certainly like if I were going to restructure the first season, I would stretch out the orc disaster for its own whole season. That might be a little too long, but I might have stretched that out a little bit more, and then stretch out the Cardibus stuff so that Milam's defeat of Cardibus and carry on showing up and everything. That could have been a great season end with Rimuru finding out about oh my gosh, what's her name? Shizu's students like at the very end, instead of making like half the season Rimuru teaches school.
Yeah.
I would have started second season on that. And then the last half of the second season I would have gone to where they are now up to what is about to happen. That's what I would have done. But I'm not, I'm not the showrunner. Just for reference, there are 7 episodes currently for the new season, and the last season was 24 episodes. So about a third or fourth of the way through. Fourth of the way through. About a third. Anyway, if they get the same number of episodes, that is. I don't know that they will. So, but yeah. It's gonna get so good. Y'all are gonna be so shocked, I think, about what's gonna happen. And considering where they are, I imagine them either catching up or surpassing the manga this season, which is fine. There's a light novel to go off of anyway. But when
Is the next episode going to shock the world? Is the next episode the Shock Master?
No. Yes, no. Kinda. But not really. It depends on how they pace it. Because
Is Rimuru in a glittered Stormtrooper helmet?
Stormtrooper helper? No.
Well, you don't know the Shockmaster?
I guess I don't.
It's a wrestling meme.
Ah.
From like the 90s.
Ah.
Or like the 80s, really. I'll link you. I can link you like the video later.
Okay.
But just go on YouTube. But for our listeners, go on YouTube and search Shockmaster. One word.
Because I don't know if you're watching it, so I can't say what's happening right now because I don't want to spoil it for you. So.
I am not currently watching it.
Well, there you go. Can't say anything.
It's a time management thing.
Yeah, no, I get it. But yeah, it's good stuff. Wrestling's been crazy. AEW's had a women's tournament. I believe I've talked about this before. And it has been absolutely impossible to call. Like, everybody's brackets got broke, like, almost immediately on the Japanese side, but then they got really fucking broke in the second round of the American side. Everybody thought that Britt Baker was going to go on to, like, the finals and whatever, and it was going to be her time to be champion, even though I don't think that it should be her time. I don't think she's ready for it. But, even I thought AEW was like, yep, this is what we're doing now. It really, really felt like it. But she got beat in the second round of the tournament, and that is like, nobody saw it coming. Everybody's bracket broke. Like, everybody was certain that Britt was going through. She did not. And that's just how it is. That's how it goes. So, and tonight, the reason I was waiting to record is because there was like the finals of the American side of the tournament happening tonight. And I expected that match. I thought it was just gonna be like a one match. It was 3 matches, like 2 non-tournament matches, and then the finals for the American matches. And that was Thunder Rosa versus Nyla Rose. Really stellar match. Lasted 13 minutes, which is good for the women. They don't normally get that kind of time. But then again, it's on YouTube and not on like TV proper, so they get more room to move around or space out. But Nyla pushed through. She's going to face Ryo Mizunagi, who won the Japanese side, which nobody saw coming either. Everybody thought Yuka was going to win. Well, most people thought Yuka was going to win. Yuka had prior engagements in Japan that blocked her from coming to the U.S. for the final match of the tournament. So, yeah. That just wasn't going to happen. But a lot of people also thought that maybe Maki Ito was going to go through, and she lost in the first round. Like, which is sad. I would like to see more Maki. She's great. I like her. But so we're either going to get at Revolution, because the whole point of the tournament is to decide who gets to challenge Hikaru Shida for the AEW Women's title this Sunday at Revolution, which is a big pay-per-view. And I do not know who's going to win the next match. It's impossible to tell. Nobody's been able to like call this tournament at all. So I make no effort to do so. But we're either going to get Ryo Mizunagi versus Shida for the first time ever, or at least in AEW, or we're going to get Nyla Rose versus Shida 3, which would still be great. Honestly, I enjoyed Nyla so much. And it's cool to watch two like big opponents like Ryo Mizunagi and Nyla Rose go head to head, because it's kind of what you like. You like to see big wrestlers wrestle other big wrestlers, you know? There's just like something primal in our brains about that. We're just like, yeah, two big fighters should be fighting. That's the way the world should work. Which is why people like Haas fights. This is gonna be a Haas fight. It's good. I love it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I had a milkshake,
Nice.
banana,
Very good.
and milkshakes are good. I also got some fries. They were seasoned fries,
Oh, where'd you go?
so I had a banana milkshake. Checkers,
I've never been to a Checkers.
also known as Rallies.
Yeah, I have had their fries. Like, they sell them in the supermarket. I don't know if
Yeah, the
they're
fries
as
are real
good
good.
as
Real good
like,
milkshakes too.
going into like a Checkers or a Rallies. Probably not. But I have had the approximation for...
They came to Houston for like 2-3 years before disappearing entirely in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And but about like 5 years ago, they started opening locations in Houston again.
Oh, nice. There you go.
And those stayed open.
They're like, oh man, In-N-Out's moving in on Texas. We better get back there.
Yeah. I
Just
do like Rally a little bit better than In-N-Out.
Well, yeah. I
Or
mean,
Checkers.
okay. Ready? Here we go. This is gonna drop our listener count from 2 to 1. In-N-Out is overrated.
It's
They're-
not bad. It's just not
they're
dramatically good.
They're okay. Like, they're not bad. They're
Yeah.
just okay. Like
If that's your regional chain and you like your regional chain, that's fine.
Sure, whatever.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's just I've been there a couple times. It was fine.
Yeah. People tell me all my life that like, oh, you gotta have In-N-Out. You gotta have In-N-Out. It's so good. It's the best burger in the world. And then I did. First, I had it, just like a regular like double, because they don't have bacon, and and I was like, this is just okay. They're like, well, did you have it animal style? You gotta have it animal style. Otherwise, it's not it's not like a true In-N-Out experience. So I was like, okay, try it animal style. It's still just okay. Like, it's better animal style, but it's not blowing my mind. I also feel like if you need like a special burger to like put you over the edge on everybody else, like it has to be done a special way, then you don't have the best burger.
Like that should be if your signature burger is like a special order like that, then that should just be your standard.
Yeah. It shouldn't be a...
You should have like your
secret
animal
menu.
style burger. Like you should have your animal style burger on the menu.
Yeah.
And like and if you want to have like a standard burger, cheeseburger, that should be also on the menu, but as like just a burger.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If your claim to fame is a special item, that should be a featured item. The whole secret menu thing, having
practice,
worked at restaurants, the whole secret menu concept is
dumb.
way overblown.
Yeah. I absolutely agree. As somebody who's worked in restaurants.
Most secret menu stuff is just like slightly off. It's like just suggested customizations.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you can have this with you can have this taco and we'll put queso and lettuce on it
Ooh.
instead of like whatever.
Right.
And like most like other places I've worked, like if you like at Starbucks, don't order off the secret menu at Starbucks. They hate it there. It's miserable. They gotta like go through hoops to make secret menu stuff at Starbucks. Don't do that. Custom order is one thing, but like don't. But the thing is, the secret menu stuff, they don't like have that written down at the store. So if you must have your Pokemon Go Frappuccino or your whatever Frappuccino, just describe the way you want it made.
Yeah.
Don't just say, "Oh, I want this," off the secret menu. Because like Starbucks will make you anything you want, but you just gotta tell them just specifically what it is. You can't just like leave it up to the baristas to guess.
Sorry.
Like one of my go-tos at Starbucks is green tea frap with Java chips.
I don't drink coffee, so.
That's green. It's basically it's a green tea milkshake with chocolate chips blended into it.
Ah, neat.
Yeah, green tea frappuccino is just a green tea milkshake.
Nice.
Frappuccinos are just milkshakes. Most of them are coffee milkshakes, but they occasionally have like featured fruit ones, and you can always get the matcha one, which is matcha. It's green tea. Do you like matcha?
I do like matcha.
Go to Starbucks, get a matcha frap, green tea frap.
Yeah,
They're very good. They're extremely sweet.
I'm good.
Don't like if you like green tea, good, but don't get one of those specifically unless you really want something sweet.
Fair enough.
Frappuccinos are sweet as fuck. Like they're just like on the verge of being too sweet.
Yeah, I'm not really big on like sweet things. Savory is more my speed.
Sure. I used to work at a Torchy's Taco for about a week. I don't know if Torchy's Taco is there, but I worked at Torchy's Tacos for about a week.
I think that's just like a Texas thing.
They have a secret menu too, but their secret menu is actually like a list of 5 specific special tacos that rotates about once every year.
Huh.
So it's a secret menu, but it's like a laminated card that they keep behind the menu. You can ask to see it, and they change them out every so often. So it actually is an actual secret menu.
Right.
But like all of those special combinations, those are all on the computer to just to press a button, just like the normal items.
That's good.
So like, don't be weird about secret menu stuff when you go to a restaurant. If you go to McDonald's and you want a McGangbang, make your own McGangbang. Just get the 2 sandwiches put together yourself. Don't make them do it.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked at a couple McDonald's. I've heard McGangbang more than a few times. How do you have the gall to seriously go up to a drive-thru or to a store counter and say, how do you keep face to say you want a McGangbang? Like, I almost went off on the first customer that ordered that with me. And my manager could like hear me gearing up because I was like, what did you just say to me? Like, and she like rushed in. She's like, oh no, we'll get that. Don't worry about it. Anything else? Because I was pumped. I was ready.
It is as difficult. Okay, if you want to make a McGangbang, get a double cheeseburger, get a chicken sandwich, take the bottom bun off of both of them, and then put the 2 meats together, and you're done.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all you need to do to have your own McGangbang.
I know.
Like there's like I've heard some techniques that are more involved, but that's all you really need to do.
It goes cheese patty, chicken, cheese patty. That's how it goes.
You can do that, but it doesn't. It tastes the same if you do it this way, and you actually get. You taste the same. It tastes the same, and you get less bread when you because you throw away the two bottom buns.
Well, yeah, I'm not saying use all the buns.
You throw away both bottom buns,
I mean,
and then
you
it's less
can,
bread, and it
or you
tastes
could
exactly
just-
the same.
Or you could throw away
tested
one
the
top and one
hypothesis.
bottom. It's just like, whatever. Depends on how you want to do it. Let's see.
I miss when McDonald's had the all-day breakfast because I would get a double cheeseburger,
Mm-hmm.
and then you put a hash brown patty on it.
Huh. That could be good.
Now that's some good shit.
Our McDonald's still do the all-day breakfast, I think.
Nice. Take off the pickles though. The pickles and the hash brown don't mix well.
That's just blasphemy.
Okay, I like pickles, but to make this specific sandwich, this specific custom sandwich, the pickles don't go with the hash browns.
I don't know.
Trust me. I like pickles. I love pickles on a hamburger. But when you put but something about like the pickle and the hash brown patty, I don't know if it's the hot loaf and the hash brown patty and the pickle, or if the textures don't match, or the sour and the salty don't do right. I don't know what it is, but it just doesn't. It throws off the sandwich, or it's the texture maybe. I don't remember. I haven't actually done this in a few years, but like, get a hash brown, get a double cheeseburger, put it together. You'll have a good time. Pickles on the side.
You want to talk
Anyway.
about Gravity Falls?
Wait, is this not our fast food podcast?
This is not our fast food podcast.
Okay.
Coming
Let's
soon
talk about Gravity
to
Falls.
platforms near you. Let's talk about
I got
Gravity Falls,
Tuesdays
though.
free.
Huh?
I got Tuesdays free. Let's talk about Gravity Falls.
Let's talk about Gravity Falls. We watched season 2, episode 10. Good lord. Called Northwest Mansion Mystery. Ooh. This is, I think when people think about Gravity Falls, like just like in passing, this is one of the episodes that comes like right to their mind. Like, boom.
Yeah, definitely.
I think this is an
It's-
iconic episode.
It's a high point of the It's a high point of the series.
Yeah.
Like season 1 was good. Season 2 is extremely good.
Agreed. So we open on the Northwest Manor on the outside. It's raining. Thunder, lightning, very, very frightening. And then we cut,
yeah.
Mamma Mia. We cut inside, and the Northwests are preparing to hold a big shindig. Mama Northwest, I don't know what her name is.
Priscilla.
Priscilla Northwest. Really, Priscilla? Oh, sucks.
Priscilla, Preston, and
Pacifica.
Pacifica.
I hate it all. I hate it. I don't dislike the name Priscilla. It's just like when you pair it up with Preston and Pacifica, I don't like it. Does that make sense? It's like
I agree.
too much alliteration for me. But Priscilla's like, hey, this guest list is nice and diverse, and Preston says that's right. It has millionaires and billionaires. I hate rich people. He smacks the servant for placing an oyster fork wrong. And this is when Pacifica enters the room. She's got a dress on. And her parents are immediately angry with her. She's like, what the fuck are you wearing? What the shit is that? The theme is sea foam green, not lake foam green. Which, holy shit. Holy shit, y'all. And Pacifica's like, but I really like this dress. And this is when Preston pulls out a bell, rings it, and Pacifica does what they want. Which, that's just mental conditioning probably throughout her entire life. I just do not, I mean, I understand the bell, and I don't understand the bell, if that makes sense. Because
I understand the bell just fine. Like,
well, no,
I,
because
like the thing is, I like how right out of the gate they open with, "Hey, so Pacifica is in this episode, and we're also going to tell you about her weird and fucked up family situation,
yeah,
including this weird bell thing that has some subtext about abuse."
I mean, no, I get, like I said, I get the bell because I understand that she's been conditioned probably her whole life to respond to the bell, and there's probably like a negative thing that they've responded with. It's Pavlov. I understand that it's Pavlov.
Yeah.
But there's a part of my brain that's like, it's a bell though. They're just ringing a bell. Knock the fucking bell away. Stupid. But no, I
Well,
do.
like she does by the end of the episode, she does.
Yeah, I know. I get that. But it's just like to that
It's
part
clearly an emotion. It's clearly an emotionally charged thing.
yeah, I know. But to that part of my brain, it's like, how did the bell ever work in the first place? It's just a bell. But I know that there's like a negative connotation. They probably like added pain to go with the bell at the starting stages, so that her brain ticks like that. I get it. Anyway, she does what they want because of the bell. That's when the house starts to shake and all their cutlery and stuff starts floating. Preston's like, "Oh shit, it's happening." He starts yelling at at the dinnerware that they're his possessions. They need to listen to him to stop like flying around. And no, it's just getting thrown at him. It's great. The Northwest are hiding out under their big table, and Priscilla says, "What are we going to do? The party's in 24 hours." To which Preston says, "There's got to be someone who can handle this sort of malarkey." That's when a issue of the Gravity Falls Gospel rolls open in front of him, showing a picture of Dipper fighting off a vampire bat, a giant fucking vampire bat. And he's like, "Oh, I think I know just the person." And we go through the opening credits. Still good. Like yeah, this is a whole Pacifica episode.
Yeah.
But we cut open on the Mystery Shack. Dipper is just enjoying a 48-hour marathon of ghost harassers, which great, I like it. I would watch ghost harassers. He's settled in. He's got all his snacks. He's watching on the Used to Be About History channel. It's really good. And he's like, "Hey, be strong, Bladder. We're not going to move until sunset." That's when his show is interrupted by breaking news. He's like, "What's this now?" Grinda, Candy, and Mabel all rush in. They're like, "Oh, hey, it's starting." And we cut to the TV. It's Toby determined with an actual microphone, which is new for him. But he's like, "Tonight's the night. We've been out here for days. The Northwest family's annual High Society Shindig Ball Soiree is here. And even though common folk are let in, that won't stop us from camping out for a peek at the fanciness." Grinda, Mabel, and Candy are all just absolutely enamored with this. They're like, this is great. This is the best. We love this. And Dipper's like, "I don't get this. Why do you people care about this?" And they're like, "It's pretty much the best party ever. It's got rich food, richer boys." Mabel's like, "They say each gift basket has a live quail inside." Candy wants Pacifica's life.
Why would you want a live quail?
Sounds terrible to me, but you know.
Birds shit everywhere.
They do. Quail is pretty tasty, I hear, though. So, I mean, you know.
Well, sure, it's a game bird, but like, I don't want like my own live quail to like have to like kill and butcher. That's ridiculous and vaguely sadistic.
So
You want to serve quail at the party? That's fine.
yeah, that makes sense.
I'll try some. I do not want like a live quail.
So Dipper says, guys, in case you've already forgotten, Pacifica Northwest is the worst. There's a knocking at the door here. And he's like, and that's not just jealousy talking. I'd say that to her face. He opens the door. It's Pacifica. She says, I need your help. Dipper responds with, you're the worst. And then he slams the door in her face. It's the best.
It's great.
He's like, see? I did it. Pacifica won't go away, though. She's like, look, you think it's easy for me to come here? I don't want to be seen in this hovel, but there's something haunting the Northwest Manor. And if you don't help me, the party could be ruined. And she's like, oh, why should I trust you? I don't care. All you've ever done is try to humiliate me and Mabel. She's like, just name your price. I'll give you anything. This is when Mabel jumps in. She's like, hi, Pacifica. Just give me a second here. Dipper, don't you see what this means? If you help Pacifica, you could get us invites to the greatest party of all time. And he's like, Mabel, this is Pacifica we're talking about. She's like, yeah, but it's Candy and Grinda's dream. We cut over to Candy and Grinda. They're like, dream. To just pile on the guilt on Dipper. He's like, all right, fine. I'm going to bust your ghost. But in exchange, I'll need 3 tickets to the party. And Pacifica's like, fine. You're lucky I'm desperate. She hands over 3 golden envelopes that are sealed by diamonds. And I assume it's real. Because the Northwest family is stupid, ridiculous rich. They're giving people live quails.
What do they make their money doing?
Being rich. So for a lot of rich people who have money, like just like break the episode for a second. For a lot of people who have money, like stupid, obscene amounts of wealth, they don't do anything. Their money just accumulates, and that's the problem. That's why capitalism doesn't work, because we wanted to have a trickle-down system, or at least Reagan wanted to have a trickle-down system, and he explained it in such a way that everybody fell for it, and so we're stuck with it. Where all the people at the top, they get more money because it's believed that they will create like the economy. If you give rich people money, they know what to do with it. They've had money all their lives. So they'll obviously fund the economy, and all of that will trickle down. But instead, what the rich do is they just like hoard it. They just let it build up. And so the glass on top of all the smaller glasses causes a lot of strain, which causes the smaller glasses to start to crack, and the whole system's going to come down. So.
Okay, so to answer my question, we're assuming like investments and interest. Not owning actual industry or anything.
Yeah, I mean, probably. I mean, maybe they own some industries, but they still don't, like, do anything.
Yeah, like, they're not really shown to, like, they don't own, like, the paper or anything.
No. I mean, not that we know of. They could own the paper. But
it feels like it would have been said.
Yeah. Whatever they own, they obviously don't run it. They let other people run it, and they just give the money for it. So that's what I mean by they're just rich. And their job is being rich. Which is the case of a lot of people. A lot of rich people, I should say.
I know. I wasn't saying, like, what their individual jobs are, but, like, I was like...
Fair.
It's more like, what do they own in the town?
Oh, that I couldn't tell you. It never comes up.
Yeah, I mean, that was more along the lines of my question. Like,
gotcha.
Do they own the paper? Do they own, like...
I think they're just rich because they're the quote-unquote founders of the town.
Just straight generational wealth.
I think it's just straight generational wealth. Yeah.
Probably.
That's how I got fired from the first job I ever got fired from. Pissing off the family who founded the town.
What, seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
What town?
Wimberley. Where I grew
Where's
up.
Wimberley?
Wimberley is 15 minutes away from San Marcos, about 45 minutes outside of Austin and San Antonio. It's like right smack in the middle.
Weird.
Yeah.
How did you... Okay, just...
We got to pause the podcast to talk about this. We're going to talk about it on air, so...
Yeah.
So I was a driver for Pizza Hut. And one night, we got an order for like 15 pizzas. or like 5 pizzas. It was a fuck ton of pizza, right? Somewhere between 5 and 15, so probably like around 8, to be honest.
So like a large order, but not like a ridiculous order.
Yeah, kind of ridiculous for a small town.
Sure.
But they also wanted, specifically, they wanted like marinara cups. And this was before Pizza Hut did like the pre-packaged cups.
Yeah.
So you would have to like pump those yourself. Not a big deal. They wanted marinara cups for their pizza, which is not a big thing. It's not a big deal. Totally fine. Like, I'm not complaining about that. I'm not complaining about their large pizza order. I didn't even bring it to them, right? Whoever took their pizza order initially took them ranch cups. Took them like 15 ranch cups for their pizza. And so they call back like, hey, we wanted marinara. Why'd you give us all this ranch? Also, still not the problem. That's fine. We didn't give you the right thing. Let us make it right. Let somebody bring you marinara. No problem. That's what they wanted, is somebody to bring the marinara. And I have zero problem up to this point, right? Because, of course, you ordered something, you didn't get it, you want us to bring it to you? No problem. I'm the one who has to deliver.
So far, at this point, it's just been normal like restaurant business stuff.
Yeah, so I'm chosen to deliver the marinara because the ranch guy, he's on a different delivery already. So I go to take out the marinara. Now, if you live in a small town, you know what exactly what I'm about to describe as it comes to like pizza delivery areas. When you live in a small town and there's one pizza place that delivers, even though there's a guideline radius for by corporate, when you live in a small town and you're the only place that delivers, you go to the outside. You go to the boundaries of the town, whatever those boundaries are. That's just being in a small town. So even if let's say Pizza Hut generally delivers within a 10 to 15 mile radius, that seems about right. If somebody lives 10, 15 miles outside of that in a small rural town, you're still delivering there because nobody else will. There's no other pizza place to do it. So I drive about 20 miles, like 10 town miles, like 10 other miles, maybe more, outside of town to go bring these people their ranch cups. It's also like 9 o'clock, so we were getting ready to close too. It's not a problem. I want to state that I had no problem bringing these people their marinara cups at all. So that's
fine. Like nothing unreasonable has happened yet.
Yeah. So I get to their gate. It's a gate because I didn't know at the time that they're the founders of the town, but they are the founders of the town, so they're rich. So they got a big gate. It's a rural Texas road. So there's no lights. There's barely any house numbers to let you know where you need to go. So I had actually trouble finding the place, but I did find it. And so I call them up. I call like it rings. I get their answering machine, no problem. My number, they don't know my number. It makes sense for it to go to voicemail. I'm not mad. So I leave them a message like, hey, it's me. I'm with Pizza Hut. I've got your sauce cups. I'm just sitting right outside your gate. If you want somebody to come grab them, or if you want, to give me the code to your gate so I can come deliver them to your door, I have no problem doing any of that, just letting you know I'm here. So I hang up and I sit for about 5 minutes because, you got to give people a chance to walk from their house or drive up from their house to their gates because big Texas lands. And so after the 5 minutes, I call again. I was like, hey, I get their answer machine again. And I'm like, hey, no worries. I'm still here with your sauce. It's still warm. Maybe you just didn't check your messages. So maybe if I call you twice, you'll get it. I'm still here with your sauce. If you want somebody to come grab it, or I can come bring it to you if you give me the gate code, just call me back. Gave him my number again. Wait another 5 minutes. I'm like, okay. Line's not that big. I try calling again, straight to voicemail. I leave a very, very polite message of I'm still here with your sauce. No problem. Then I wait 10 minutes. So I've been there a total of 25 minutes now for these people, waiting to give them their sauce. And so I call my store. I call my store because I'm like, maybe they just don't want to pick up for my number because they think I'm a telemarketer and I'm really, really just trying to get at them, right? They could just listen to the messages that I'm leaving them, but it's fine. So I call my store and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm outside their gates. They're not picking up their phone for me, which they don't recognize my number, so that's fine. Could you give them a call for me, since they probably know Pizza Hut's number, and that way they'll pick up, they'll know I'm here, they'll come get their sauce, and I can, you know, come back and clock out and go home. No biggie. So I wait another 5 minutes before I get a call back from my store, and they're like, hey, don't worry about it, you can just come on back. I was like, what? Like, they tried the ranch cups, and it's fine. They like the ranch. They actually don't want the they don't want the marinara sauce anymore. They apparently didn't want the marinara sauce before you even got there. And I'm like, and they couldn't like call us to tell us that they didn't want it. It's not a small trek out here. It's like, you know, a 25 minute drive just to get here. And he's like, yeah, you know, it wasn't cool of them. And I was like, yeah, you're right, it wasn't. And they ordered this sauce, so you know what? They're getting this sauce. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I'm giving them this sauce one way or another. They don't open the gate, it's fine. I think I can make it to their house from here. And so he's like, are you going to throw it? And I was like, yeah, I'm going to throw it. And so I did. 15 marinara sauce cups that I had to hand pump and drive out to them, even though they didn't want them. They could have told us. I just started throwing them. That scene in Office Space where they're like kicking the shit out of that printer, that's what it felt like to throw those cups of marinara all over their nice gate, all over their yard. I think I hit a car. And then I drove away. And the very next day I got fired. I got fired because, you know, it's not good to like throw sauce packets at anybody's house or cars. But it's even worse when the founders of the town, that's who you do it to. So that's the story of how I first ever got fired.
Honestly, the situation probably called for it.
I mean, I was younger. Now that I'm older and an adult and wiser, I probably wouldn't do it again. But at the time, it felt real good to do it. So.
Sure. Let's see. Speaking of Office Space, I saw a destroyed printer. Under at a stoplight by an overpass, and someone had clearly done an Office Space on it.
Nice, very cool.
Like this was like 3 days ago.
Very cool. All right, so let's get.
You want to talk about Gravity Falls?
Let's talk about Gravity Falls. So, everybody's very happy that Pacifica's desperate, or at least the girls are happy that Pacifica's desperate, and they're going to go to the biggest party of the year. They're chanting desperate. Yeah, Grinda, get the glue gun. We're going to make dresses. And they quickly throw some dresses together. Like, good on them. They make whole dresses. Pacifica's not wearing a seafoam green, by the way. Her dress is like purple.
Yeah, she changed to purple for some reason. But they're just so impressed with all the fanciness. She's like, Mabel's like, fancy house, fancy plants, fancy floors. She grabs a butler's face and says, fancy man. And he's like, yeah, this is fine. I'm a butler. Candy brings out a gift bag, and there is, in fact, a live quail. The 4 live quails in this bag. It's ridiculous. Pacifica walks Dipper up to her parents, and he's like, oh, there you are, the man of the hour, says Preston. Hopefully you can help us with a little situation before the guests arrive in like an hour. And he's like, yeah, I'll do my best. And Preston says, splendid, Pacifica, take our guest to the problem room. And he's not going to be wearing his normal clothes, is he? And Pacifica's like, fine, I'm on it. She changes Dipper into a suit and tie. And Dipper's like, this sucks. Who do you think you're impressing with this stuff, huh? She's like, everyone. You wouldn't understand.
High standards are what make the Northwest family great. She walks past a line of pictures of portraits, painted portraits of the Northwest family's like great successes. And Dipper's like, I'm funny. I thought it was about lying about the founding of the town that made you a success. And she's like, yeah, whatever. Come on. Grinda's looking at the guest list. She's like, whoa, check out all these people. Look at this hunk. She focuses on one Marius von Funhauser, who will be. This is the B plot of the episode, by the way. He inherited his father's factory. He's super rich. He's a foreign diplomat. Whatever. He's a baron in Austria. Mabel's like, hey, forget the quill. I'm putting him in my guest basket. And Greta says, ladies, I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think this boy is out of our league. Candy says, yeah, Greta's right. He's like a white whale. Hunting him will destroy us. And Mabel's like, yeah. Besides, there are tons of like cute boys coming. Let's swear a sister's truce to not waste our time on Marius. At all. They all put their hands in. They're like, deal. Although there is uncomfortable laughing among them because they've all lied to each other. We cut over to Dipper and Pacifica, who have entered a very creepy room full of like animal heads, and the only thing illuminating this room is the fireplace. So it's got a real red glow to it, which is not great.
There's a lot of taxidermies in this episode.
Yeah, there is. It's because rich people hunt.
Yeah.
For sport.
Like, there's taxidermies in the Mystery Shack, but like the Northwest Mansion has like every fucking room, just wall to wall dead shit.
Yeah, but as far as Stan's taxidermies go, do I believe that Stan killed all those animals that he has? Probably not. Did he kill some of them? Yeah, but he also probably ate them.
Sure.
Which is not what I believe is going on at the Northwest Manor.
Assuming any amount of them are actually like real and not just like statues.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he's got it. Like, in this episode, you also see like a dodo. There's no way that's a real dodo. Like a real dodo taxidermy.
Yeah. But Dipper's like, yeah, this room looks like it would be super fucking haunted. He opens his journal and says, ghosts fall on a 10 category scale. Falling in places that sound like, we're probably dealing with like a category 1, things floating and whatever. Not a big deal. Can't handle it. Pacifica's like, what are you going to do? Bore him back to the afterlife from reading from this book? He's like, no, I'm just going to splash that sucker with some holy water. He should probably be out of your probably fake blonde hair. She's like, what was it about my blonde hair? That's when Dipper's ghostometer, or whatever he's calling this thing, he doesn't give it a name, starts picking up readings. He starts, go ahead.
So so they don't actually say holy water. I know they can't say holy water. He says anointed water.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Huh.
But anointed water means ritually covered or rubbed in oil. I know they can't say holy, but like,
oh, he does.
That bottle is basically full of tap water and olive oil.
Great.
Or, as white people call it, spicy salad dressing.
Oh.
Very fancy.
Very fancy. Dipper's looking around with his meter. It brings him to a picture of a lumberjack, which is weird. This is like the one thing about this episode that's super weird to me is that they have this picture of this lumberjack in their manor. Why? He's not a Northwest. He gave the curse to them. Why would they have a picture of him? That's weird. But it's fine. It's whatever. It's a cartoon. I'm thinking about this too hard.
Well, we see him like move out of the painting.
Yeah, but there's
later.
nothing left in the painting after he moves out of it.
Looks like a landscape.
I guess.
I don't know, and I don't have a solid answer for you. But it's possible that like his appearance in that painting is just part of the haunting.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Dipper's meter turns off, and he's like, "Oh, come on, you stupid thing! Oh, there we go." And he looks back up, and the lumberjack is gone from the painting. It's like, Pacifica. That's when the animal heads start bleeding from their mouths and eyes, and they start chanting, "Ancient sins, ancient sins, ancient sins." And things start flying around the room. Clouds gather to make like a stormy sky. And Pacifica's like, "Dipper, what the fuck is this?" He's like, "This is a category 10. This isn't good." His anointed water just breaks in his hands. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, this whole scene is a great Evil Dead 2 reference.
Yes.
With the talking and with texturing heads and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. The animal head starts like chanting still. They say, "Ancient blood and blackened skies, the forest dark once more shall rise." Pacifica's freaking the fuck out. She's like, "What do we do?" He's like, "Hey, don't worry, it can't get any worse than this." That's when a flaming skeleton crawls out of the fireplace with an axe in its forehead before flesh forms around it and hair and a beard made of flame just erupt from it. This lumberjack's skull. He's like, "I smell the blood of the Northwest," and he starts dragging his axe across the floor, busting up the floor. And Sarah's like, "Come on, just read through your dumb book." He's like, "I'm looking, and it's not dumb. The book is going to save our lives. All right, here we go. Advice." He pulls out his black light to see what the advice for a category 10 is. And all it says is, "Pray for mercy." And he's like, "Oh, seriously?" The ghost moves the table they're hiding under, or the pool table they're hiding under, and tries to kill them. And they run away before it can do that. We cut back over to the party section of the Northwest Manor. And Preston is inviting dukes and duchesses, sultans and sportsmen, and the reclusive 102-year-old mayor of Gravity Falls. He's, I guess, mayor for life. Mayor Befuddlefumpter. Fucking dumb. Also, vultures fly in and circle the mayor, and he's like, "It's okay, they're with me." That's a pretty good joke. Preston says, "Tonight we shall enjoy only the finest tastes and the snootiest of laughter." A very snooty laugh happens from a guy who looks... He's awful to look at, honestly.
I don't know what's up with his weird floppy hair.
I don't get that either.
He looks like a Jeff Dunham puppet.
He does look like a Jeff Dunham puppet. It's not good. I don't like it. We also
Blue
see
ones.
two characters in the background, which will show up later.
Bum bum bum.
We cut over to Candy, who is moving between dipping her fondue fork and whatever's on that fondue fork into cheese, and then moving it over to chocolate, then back to cheese and back to chocolate. And Mabel walks up and says, "Candy, listen to me, you're caught in a sweet savory loop. You need to just bust away. Put down the fondue fork." She's like, I want to, but I can't. There's a clinking glass, and Baron Marius von Funhauser comes in. There are rose petals. There's like sun beaming through the clouds as at his arrival. It's very, very fancy. The girls are just like, "Oh my god, this is crazy." Marius says Guten Tag to them, and Mabel says the line of, "Guten, take me now." To which Grinda stops her and says, "Mabel, we had a truce." And Kenny's like, "Yeah, truth. Grinda, could you go fetch us some fancy napkins?" And Grinda's like, "Okay." Candy says, "Listen, Mabel, I don't know if I can follow this truce. He's too adorable." Mabel says, "I know, Candy, but what do we do? He's unattainable. What if we flirt with him as a team," says Candy. "With our cuteness combined, one of us might have a chance." Mabel says, "Oh, that is a perfect plan. What about Grinda? Candy says, I love Grinda, Mabel, but these boys are fancy, and they might not get her aggressive ways of flirting. We watch Grinda flirt. She does the, hey, what's on your shirt, to flick up somebody's nose. Everybody's had that bit done to them before, right? I think I have a lot.
Sure. It's a common thing.
It's a common thing. My stepfather was an asshole. But she does call that boy a loser after getting him. We cut back over to to Dipper and Pacifica running through a garden full of peacocks. There's some mud, and they're running back through the house, and Dipper's just looking through a book, and he's like, okay, I got it. A haunted painting can only ever be trapped in a silver mirror. Look, there's a silver mirror right there. It's in a very fancy room, and Pacifica stops him dead in his tracks. She's like, you can't go in there. That room has my parents' favorite carpet pattern. They'll lose it if we track mud in there. He's like, what? Are you serious? She's like, no, come on, we have to find another way. He's like, Pacifica, we don't have time for this. Let me through. She's like, no, my parents will kill me. She's like, why are you so afraid of your parents? She's like, you wouldn't understand. That's when they fall through a painting of a skeleton with a sword and a crown. It's a very weird painting. And the ghost flies by. They have fallen into a room that is just like full of like covered portraits and such. And Pacifica's like, I don't even know what this room is. And he's like, hopefully the ghost doesn't know it's here either. He's like, yeah, maybe we're safe, says Pacifica. That's when the ghost starts slowly forming its way through one of these covered paintings, which is a reference to something. I'm not big on horror movies, but I know this is a reference to a very famous horror movie. I just don't know what
Probably Poltergeist with the TV.
Oh, probably Poltergeist. You're probably right. Dipper saves Pacifica from being killed by the ghost here. Pacifica knocks over a bunch of silver stuff that's been in a box, and Dipper finds a silver hand mirror. It's perfect. It's exactly what he needs. This is when the ghost is about ready to kill Pacifica, but Dipper runs in with the mirror, catches the ghost reflection in it, and everybody falls out of the window. Like, they crash through it because of the impact of the ghost going through the mirror, but they caught the ghost. He's like, no, free me. They're like, haha, yes, we did it. We're great. Pacifica hugs Dipper here, which is very weird for both of them. They both realize how weird it was. They don't like it. Pacifica even says, can I pay you to forget that I hugged you? That'd be great. We cut over to the garden where the peacocks were, and Preston Northwest is like, well, Pacifica, you really found the right man for the job. Like, we just cannot thank you enough. The butler is shaking Dipper's hand for a little bit, and they say, okay, that's enough to stop thanking him. Dipper says, yeah, I'm just holding up my end of the deal. No biggie. He goes to leave, and Pacifica's like, what? You're going to leave? You're at the world's best party, you dumb shit. He's like, nah, I'd love to stay, but I got a Category 10 ghost to dispose of. Haha. He walks into a pillar. Category 10. He makes Pacifica laugh. I understand why people ship Dipper and Pacifica. I get it. It's this episode that does it for them. I still don't like it.
Look, if you're into shipping, Dipper and Pacifica have a fun dynamic in this episode and some good scenes over the course of the episode. But, like, the amount of better things I have to do with my time besides ship Gravity Falls characters is exhaustive. Like, it's fun. It's cute. And if you want to ship them, that's you do you. That's fine.
I don't think it's a good ship.
Yeah. There's not a lot of, like, fair romantic combinations on this series.
Yeah. I mean, him and Candy have a cute thing for a little bit. I thought that could have worked. But he's a jerk.
I don't even remember that.
Oh, it's coming up. It's, what episode is that? Roadside Attraction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Dipper's walking away. He's like, oh, call me crazy, but maybe she's not that bad after all. The ghost starts laughing in the mirror. He's like, haha, you've been fooled. I'm like, what are you laughing at, man? I defeated you. He's like, nah, you've been fooled. You remind me of myself 150 years ago. He's like, what do you mean? The ghost explains this tragic backstory. It's like 150 years ago this day, the Northwest asked for us lumberfolk to build them a mansion atop the hill. We were told it would be a service to the town, that once a year they would throw a grand party and all would share in the bounty. So we did it. We built them a house. It took years of backbreaking labor and sacrifice. We were watching a time lapse happen, and as it happens, more and more crosses at the bottom of the hill pile up. So implying that people died building this house. Or this mansion. But they did it.
Well, that's not uncommon for like these giant fucking old style mansions.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I need to pause for a moment. Unpause. So, they built the mansion. It looks real cool. It's got like deers on top of the pillars. It's a nice mansion. Not gonna lie. But the lumberjack goes on to explain that, but when it was time for the grand party, they promised the common folk of the town they refused to let us in, and they slammed the gate in their face. All the wood folk walk away, and except for this one lumberjack who's slamming his fists on the gates. He's like, "You promised, Northwest. You promised us." And he says, and with the trees gone, the mudslides raged. And as their party continued, I was swept away by the storm. We watch as he's holding onto a rock, trying not to die in a mudslide, only for a axe on a log to hit another rock, the axe to fly off, and we assume hit him in the head. He says, and so I said with final breath, 150 years I'll return from death, and if the gate to town still closed, and if the gate is still closed to town, wealthy blood will stain the ground. It all rhymes. A curse passed down until this day. And they were like, so wait a minute. The Northwest family knew this haunting was coming, and they tricked me into helping them to avoid ghostly justice? I'll be right back. We come back into the party. Preston's talking to the mayor. And he's like, as our sign of respect, please take this chimp servant. Keep him away from your face, though. He gets grabby. Dipper busts in. He's like, Northwest, you've got some explaining to do. Pacifica runs in. She's like, Dipper, you came back. He's like, you lied to me. All of you did. All you had to do was let the townsfolk into the party, and you could have broken the curse. But all you made me do is your dirty work instead. To which Preston walks up and says, look at who you're talking to, boy. I'm hosting a party for the most powerful people in the world. You think they'd come here if they had to rub elbows with your kind? He's like, my kind? Like, I was right about you guys all along. You're just as bad as your parents. Another link in the world's worth chain. But so it was like, Dipper, I'm so sorry. I should have told you, but that's when Preston rings the bell and she stops talking.
Again with the implied abuse.
Yeah, again with the implied abuse. Preston says, enjoy the party. It's the last time you and your kind will ever see it. The chimp servant tries to offer him some sandwiches, to which Preston says, no, those aren't for him. Dipper walks outside to start doing the ritual to banish this ghost. He's like, stupid Northwest making them do their exorcism for them. Exodus, Demoness, ain't afraid of us, no ghostess. The The ghost like, Dipper, please, come on. Let me get my vengeance on the Northwest. Please. I can totally... You hate them as much as I do, so just, like, let me do it. He's like, look, I feel you. It's just my sister's in there, and you seem a little unstable, man. He's like, well, very well, boy. But then before you banish my soul, may these tired old lumber eyes gaze upon the trees one final time. And there's like, yeah, I guess. Go nuts, man. That's when the ghost starts laughing and glowing red, and the mirror heats up. Dipper drops it, and it shatters, freeing the lumberjack ghost. The Scooby Gang would not be pleased. But he's like, yes, vengeance! And he dives back into there. He's like, and Dipper's like, oh no, Mabel! We cut back in to see what Mabel is doing, and it's her and Candy doing their best to flirt with Marius. And she's like, I'm Mabel. So, Australia, eh? You guys eat like kangaroo meat over there, or are they like strictly pets? He's like, I'm from Austria. He's like, haha, tag. And Candy tags in. She's like, I'm Candy. I love the tiny hats and the shoes you wear. To which Mabel tags herself back and says, if you were a boat, you know what kind of boat you be? A dream boat. That's what's kind. And so Candy and Mabel start fighting with each other. Like, you tagged out. I tagged myself back in. You can't do this. And Marius is walking away because he is just very uncomfortable. This is when Grenda walks up. She's like, what was all that? What was that exactly? You were flirting with Marius without me. And they're like, oh, sorry, Gary. It's just your flirting style can come off a bit intense. And these fancy boys just might not understand. It's like, oh, I see. You just think I shouldn't be myself because I'm in this stupid mansion. I thought you liked myself. It's like, we do. But these boys, they just might not. It's like, oh, then I guess they wouldn't like this either. Hey, Marius. She's like, yeah? She's like, there's something on your shirt. He looks down. There actually is something on his shirt, though. Or unless it's just like a fancy doodad or whatever. I don't know. But it looks like there's like a mustard stain. It's not there in this scene, but anyway. So he looks down. She does the nose thing. And they're like, and all the girls are upset with each other. They walk away. Marius is like, holy shit, that's amazing. I'm so happy. We cut over to Preston Northwest. He's like, hey, everybody, this party was a rousing success. The one basketball player who had played for the Oregon Dunk Slammers in '85 says, I guess you could say it was a slam dunk, Preston. Like, yeah, sure, I guess. He's like, anyway, to our family name. That's when the ghost starts laughing. He's like, oh no, what's that? And all the glasses break in their hands as the ghost comes through. He's like, generations. What does he say? I want to get this right. Cackling, glasses breaking, ghost pops out. Generations locked away. My revenge shall have its day. The mayor is not fazed by this at all. He's like, the Grim Reaper. I've been wondering when you would arrive. Just as he gets turned to wood. And now everybody starts screaming. Everybody's being turned into wood. The ghost is just zapping, blasting, turning people to wood, bringing the taxidermy creatures to life to attack people. It's a proper haunting. There is a forest growing in the house now. Priscilla says, Preston, what are we going to do? He's like, prepare the panic room. As he punches... What?
There's so much taxidermy in this episode.
So much taxidermy.
And they're creepy as fuck, especially the half deer.
Half deer is not good. But Dipper busts back in the house. He's like, oh no. He's just watching as people are being attacked by taxidermy things, picked up by birds, being turned to wood. It's like, whoa, that's messed up. The ghost goes on to say, just one way to change your fates. Our Northwest must open the party gates. He's like, a Northwest? Pacifica. He looks over to the right. And he sees a light flashing through that painting that they fell through earlier. He's like, Pacifica! Oh, there you are. The ghost is turning everyone into wood, and he just started rhyming for some reason. They need your help. He's like, Pacifica? It's like, you want to know why this room was locked up? I found out why. There's what I found in here. A painted record of every horrible thing that my family's ever done. Which, okay. Why does the Northwest family have these paintings?
Gloating.
I guess. But there's lying, cheating, and then there's me. I lie to you just because I'm too scared to talk back to my stupid parents. You are right. Yeah?
Looking... Sorry, I think I lost it. Never mind, go on ahead.
Okay. He's like, you were right about me, Dipper. I am just another link in the world's worst chain. It's like, Pacifica, I'm sorry about what I said earlier, but just because you're your parents' daughter doesn't mean you have to be like them. She smiles, and he says, it's not too late. This is when the ghost shouts, it's too late! And Dipper's like, oh no. It's like, you are all wood. And everybody is all wood. Grinda, Candy, and Mabel were fighting as they were getting frozen. Would you think they'd have better things to do? There's a forest in this house. Honestly, I love it when nature reclaims stuff.
Yeah.
It's good. Dipper runs up on the ghost. He's like, all right, ghost, prepare to get... And that's when Dipper gets blasted and turned into wood. He's like, oh no, no. I need somebody to help. He actually freezes in the same manner that the shape changer frozen as him.
Yeah.
Super creepy. Good callback, though.
Certainly.
The ghost says, a forest of death, a lesson learned, and now the Northwest Manor will burn. He starts to burn the manor. Twitch Pacifico says, hey, ugly, over here. It's like, you want me to let the townsfolk in? Because I'll do it. Just change everybody back. He's like, you wish to prove yourself? Pull that lever and open the grand gate to the town. He stopped rhyming. It's like, fulfill your ancestors' promise. Pacifica reaches for the lever, and that's when Preston, the butler, and her mom open a trapdoor, and he's like, Pacifica, stop this instant. We just can't let the town see us like this. We have a reputation to uphold. Now come into the panic room. There's enough mini sandwiches and oxygen to last you, me, and your mother a week. We'll eat the butler. The butler is just like, fine, whatever. Pacifica continues to reach for the lever. And he's like, are you disobeying us? He starts ringing the bell. Pacifica is in general uncomfort here. I'm trying to reach for the lever. And he's like, and Preston's like, come on, ding, 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 ding. Is this bell broken? What's going on? She's like, no, our family name is broken, and I'm going to fix it. That's when she opens the lever, or pulls the lever, and opens the gate to the town. We get a good shot of Tyler Cutie Biker here. He's like, get it. The town goes nuts, and they start walking in. The ghost is like, yes, it's happening. My heart, once as hard as oak, now grows soft, more like a birch or something. He doesn't rhyme here. But everybody turns back from being wood. The forest disappears. He's like, Pacifica, you are not like the other Northwest. I feel lumber justice. And he slowly drifts away into nothingness. The axe was real, though. That falls right into the floor. Like, I could have killed somebody.
Yeah, totally.
The common folk run in and they start mucking up with mucking everything up. Preston's like, good lord, the riffraff, they're everywhere. Tyler Cutie Biker moves the oyster fork in the wrong direction, and Preston's like, no, that's not how the fork should be placed. Mabel, Candy, and Grinda all wake up, and they're like, Grinda, we're real sorry. Like, we shouldn't have left you behind. Greta's like, it's okay. Maybe I do need to work on my flirting. Come on, let's go dunk our heads in some cheese and chocolate. She's friends, and they all hug. Marius is like, wait! Don't go! Grinda, was it? I must speak with you. There's something about you I can't get out of my head. You're so bold and confident. I know you're probably out of my league, but might I give you my phone number? And Grinda says, I don't have a phone. Write it on my face. And they're just super impressed that Grinda landed Marius. It's really great. They're very happy for her.
Oh, yeah. And they stay together for the rest of the series, which is a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's good. Dipper is hanging out with Pacifica, and he's gesturing to the whole of the party. He's like, man, if your parents hate you for this, they're idiots. This is great. Pacifica says, well, enjoy it while you last. Next year, I'm sure they're just going to lock everybody out again. To which Dipper's like, hey, guess what you're standing on? They look down. It's the favorite carpet pattern, and they've gotten mud on it. They start dumping stuff onto the carpet pattern, stomping around on it. And Pacifica's like, that's great, but seriously, I better find someone to clean this up. She walks away. This is when Old Man McGucket walks away. He's like, oh, Scooby-Doo-Doo, or just walk on my goat knees. Acting like a fool. He's like, whoa, what's up, McGucket? And McGucket pulls him away from the party. Says, Dipper, I've been looking for you. I fixed the laptop. I've been doing some calculations, and I think something terrible's coming. The apocalypse, the end times. And Dipper says, you know what, McGucket? Can we talk about this stuff tomorrow? It's a party. Let's have some fun for once, huh? And he walks away. And McGucket's like, oh, okay. This is bad. He pulls out his laptop, and it's got a countdown of 21 hours. He's like, something big is coming. Something bad. And behind him is a tapestry that has a triangle with an eye on it. And people, I don't know, praising it as the forest burns. It's real creepy shit. So, which it only makes sense, like, that the Northwest would be worshippers of Bill Cipher, I guess. Winning team and whatever. And that's where this episode ends. Our end credits are the two FBI agents from the zombie episode pulling each other into a coat closet to meet in secret. Going over some activity that's going off on charts. And they've argued about who has, I believe, a cell phone. Like, it's in your purse. No, it's supposed to be with you. He's like, I'm supposed to just hold on to everything for you. He's like, I asked you when we were in the car. He's like, why do you always do this when we fight at one of our parties? Tammy walks in to, like, leave her coat, and she walks out. She's like, I'm not even going to ask. And that's the end of the episode. All in all, it's good. Whew, man.
Oh, yeah. So, let's see. I really do love... Should we do trivia or summary?
Up to you.
Well, let me do trivia first.
Okay.
So voice acting first. Matt Chapman, who we talked about before, is Marius. Kevin Michael Richardson, another regular voice cast member, does the Lumber Ghost. Kari Walgren does Priscilla Northwest. Preston is voiced by Nathan Fillion, most famous for Firefly, but a ton of other things over the years.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of work with Joss Whedon, a person who can fuck right off and die. But that's not really relevant to Fillion, as far as I know. Fillion is a cool guy and a fun performer.
As far as we know.
This episode has two titles. It has been listed both as Northwest Mansion Mystery and Northwest Mansion Noir. At various times. I'm sure I don't know what caused that, but that's a thing. There was an offhand joke about Mabel asking if Australians eat kangaroos.
They do.
Yes, kangaroos are eaten as meat.
They're like chickens.
I don't think they're not actually like farmed, but they're like a game animal.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're just like everywhere is what I mean.
Yeah. It's actually a really complex topic. And there's a whole page on Wikipedia on the topic that I had no interest in reading at all. I had no interest at all in reading this morning. We talked about the thing with Dipper and the Shapeshifter. Let's see. So let me see. Final thoughts on the episode. I really do love this episode.
Mm-hmm.
I've said before that if the rest of the season wasn't so good, it would be the best of the season.
But the rest of the season is really good.
Honestly, I think it's good enough to have been like a season finale on its own.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And it kind of is. It's like a break between the story arc of the first part of the season and the second. Like this is like season 2A. This is like the end of season 2A.
Yeah.
And everything after this point is season 2B.
Agreed.
Because it's basically it's almost a completely different show at that point.
Mm-hmm. Well, because what happens next is what happens next.
Yeah.
The next episode is Not What He Seems, which actually ties into this week's cryptogram, or at least one of them. The page section at the end of the episode translates all into Stan is not what he seems over and over again. Other cryptograms, when using a different cipher, it translates to next up on the Used to Be About History channel. Did aliens write the Constitution? Crawdads and Tiaras, and Florida, the show. Also, the keyword curse can be found on every other window on the top floor of the Northwest Manor. Did not know that. Very cool.
Let's see. So we actually did get some questions last episode that we have not gotten around to. I have these. Yes.
Oh, did you write it down?
I did. Dammit on Twitter asked, Alex Hirsch said that one of the ideas that didn't get written would be a Camp Loose Ends, a camp in Gravity Falls, where a bunch of characters like the surviving Dipper clones would be and would have revisited them. What plot thread do you want to see explored?
Oh. Honestly, I would have liked an episode, as much as I don't like the Northwest family, I would have liked an episode about that tapestry.
Yes, I would have liked it. It would have been nice to see more about the Northwest family, and maybe gotten another episode of character development for Pacifica.
Yeah.
I would have actually would have liked to see stuff with the Dipper clones, or maybe the several times, more of them.
Agreed.
The show probably could have gone on another season, but I don't know what they would have really done aside from just fan service and following up on like loose ends.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what would have happened.
He actually sent us a second question. This is Dammit on Twitter. Are you going to cover the other media for when you're done with the series, like the Lost Legend comics or the Journal number 3? I think we were not going to.
Nah.
We're going to move on to a different cartoon show when we finish this one out.
Yeah, that is correct. But yeah. Any other questions? Because we didn't get anything for this week's question or anything. I guess we can answer the question that I asked that for listeners. So anybody who makes it all the way through this episode to here, we have started asking listeners questions. You can follow me on Twitter for every time we're about to post this stuff, which I'll give out later. But the listener question this week is, have you ever had a paranormal experience? And I'll turn it over to you.
Let's see. One comment. I read that in the voice of Egon, which appreciated.
Yeah.
Not a response, but appreciated. Let's see. Have you ever had a paranormal experience? Maybe. I had this weird experience that I've never been able to tell if it was actually a dream or not.
Oh.
But involved sort of a ghost ichthyosaurus that talked to me.
Huh. Neat. Very cool.
What?
I said very cool. Unless it wasn't.
It was really messed up at the time, but like as I have like gotten more understanding of myself and maybe gone through more stuff, my opinions on it have changed.
Uh-huh.
You may notice that I currently call myself Dr. Sea Monster.
Yeah.
So my relationship with the ocean and aquatic life is very different today than it was in like 2007 or 2008 when this happened.
Mm-mm.
I have asked, more occult inclined people I know.
Yeah.
Some people have. It has been like I have various explanations have been suggested for it, ranging from like some kind of like supernatural creature, like some kind of demon, some kind of like animal demigod, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
or something completely. It could have been something completely internal, like not really like a spirit animal, but like manifestation of your inner self, maybe. I've heard different theories,
Right.
all interesting ones, all interesting opinions. How about you?
Oh yeah, absolutely, no question in my mind. When I was younger, much younger, like eight, yeah. My stepfather and one of our house roommates, either bought or made a Ouija board, like carved in the symbols, everything, pentagrams, whole 9 yards. Nothing wrong with pentagrams, by the way, but they are used in rituals. They used it, and I guess they forgot to close their whole thing, because after they used it and then burned it, which is not how you dispose of a Ouija board at all. If you believe in that kind of stuff. But what's up?
Please continue.
Oh, so after that, the roommates had these little beanbag porcelain clown dolls that they had around the house, on shelves and stuff, right? They would move around, like in plain view. You could be looking at them, and they would move from one end of the shelf to the other. Or they would start one place in the house, and then you'd see them later in a different part of the house. Not good. It sucked. Very hard to see.
No, that is not good.
So, we also had a basement at that house, and we used to love playing in the basement, but after they did that, one day we just wouldn't go in the basement. According to our mother, we told her that the other children down there didn't like us. No other children in the house. So, yeah. Real sucky. Real just awful. But, yeah. That's my story. I have others, but that's like the big one. So, have I ever experienced paranormal activity? Yes. Terrible. Terrifying. Do not like dolls to this day. But yeah, that's it for me. Anything else for you?
No. I have a question.
Sure.
Can I make my own wedgie, or do I need to buy one from a witch or a vegan?
You could, or a vegan? What?
There's a funny YouTube video about people spelling Ouija board called "Curse of the Ouija Board." It's pretty funny.
Gotcha.
It's by the same guy who made the "Could I be Pargent" video.
Oh, gotcha.
Because these are both skimmed. Both of these are skimmed from Yahoo Answers.
Right. So you can just make your own Ouija board, That's absolutely something you can do. I wouldn't. Nothing good's ever come from a Ouija board, in my experience and my knowledge. Just bad stuff. Just bad stuff.
Like, it's entirely possible that it means nothing, but like too many people have had weird experience with it, and like there's no telling what it actually is like invoking.
Exactly. My wife sells those at her store. They call them spirit boards, and they sell them at the store. And I just stay away from them. I stay away from them so hard. Just no, thank you. But yeah, that's it for me. And if that's it for you, then where can people find you online if they want to like talk to you about stuff?
I am on Twitter way too much. I'm at Dr. C Monster. That's at DRC Monster. Come and find me on Twitter. Where what have I done lately on Twitter? Where I try to provoke my friends into sending in questions and comments about the podcasts.
Yeah, could they please? Somebody.
Well, like I started getting them to respond. I just need to keep. Maybe we should put things up on Sunday morning or something.
I might.
Like earlier.
Yeah, might be a thing to do. Oh, cool. Netflix is gonna have the Way of the House Husband anime coming to it.
Yes, that's gonna be good.
It's gonna be good.
You know what anime I'm surprised hasn't gotten an adaptation yet?
Oh, what?
Delicious in Dungeon.
I have no idea what that is.
I have not read much of it, but everything I've seen of it has looked amazing.
Oh, cool.
It's a comedy fantasy stories about a group of adventurers trying to save money by surviving on food they can find in a dungeon, including like monster parts.
Huh. Neat. Well,
It's a comedy.
Yeah, it sounds like a comedy. Well, you can find me, as always, on Twitter at DatFirePrincess, spelled DAT, where I'm asking questions for podcasts. Please come answer them. Or please come leave your questions so that I can answer you. I'm begging.
Remember, this is the only podcast where we answer your questions with questions.
You can also find me on my numerous podcasts I do, like Let's Pull the Trigger on the Podcast, which is just this, but for everything Studio Trigger, because I hate myself.
We have finished Kill la Kill recently.
Yes.
And started when supernatural battles became commonplace.
Yes.
It is we've seen 2 episodes of it. It's really inconsistent, and I don't know what it is. Yeah, what it's really about yet.
We're just hoping it's good. But yeah, I think that's everything. So remember, until next time.
Reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Bye, Gold. Bye.
Bye.
Here, my darling. A moment alone at last. You can drop the act trigger. They're seeing activity on the machine. It's go time.
Roger that.
Where's my phone?
I don't have it.
Yes, you do. It was in your purse.
Oh, so I'm just supposed to hold on to everything for you?
I asked you when we were in the car.
Why do we always have to fight at parties?
Not even gonna ask.